There it is.
Right, sun's coming back out here at RANT Studios, Racing RANT Studios.
Racing RANT. We pay a lot of money for the rental of this property, you know.
I know, and the sound equipment is particularly good.
Playing now. Old mate behind us, walking past. There is another day.
Bit of an audience, but this is the RANT, and it's Monday, the 29th of August. We're obviously talking about Rose Hill last Saturday predominantly, and in part two we'll have a range of issues to discuss.
Emails, eh?
Yeah, it was. Well, it was a funny day on Saturday, wasn't it? Rose Hill was ended up a soft 7. I'd say the Rose Hill track was slow. Rail position was where were we on Saturday? We were in the true position, and the track was a bit hard to read.
Was it off on the inside or not?
It was fairish,
That's
wasn't
what
it? A little bit off the inside?
Yeah, okay. Sense of Occasion has sat 3 deep without cover the entire race.
Well, I watched its tape this morning. I don't know how it won that horse. How did it do that?
Because you were tipping at the start before, I was tipping at the start before. It was like,
you were tipping at the start before big, and then I sold myself into it at the start before and bet right up the place as well, the whatever price box. I run 4th, a regulatory place position, and went terrific.
So, Chris Lees, how do you think he was feeling? He trained the Penultimate.
Well, good.
Do you think he was? Do you think he was more hopeful for his second horse?
No, I think he's setting the second horse for something bigger.
Okay. Yeah. Yep. Time off between runs there for singing. Although there is the suggestion that a lot of these overseas horses they need to be sort of kept in cotton wool.
Do you think trainers think that far ahead? I met a lot of trainers.
I think they try
I'm
to.
going to
They
that
get it
race
right
there,
or not.
and I'll run.
Yeah.
I just think that race, put it in. That's the next eligible race. Yeah, we'll have a
But if you've got a race like that, who were you talking about? You guys mentioned a horse that had come back as Lure Main. You know, same trainer. You're saying, he's established himself now, so they've got their eye different. They eye the program differently.
Okay, I'm saying that in that situation, that horse mightn't be super screwed down. And maybe that's not the grand final, but I don't know. That's a different type of horse. That's a good horse. That's the best horse in the stable.
Project horse, yeah.
It's a project horse, but things like singing, Canterbury Wednesday, you say it's got eyes. I'm not saying they think that far ahead. Chris is a terrific person. Very nice man.
Well,
solid as a rock. But do you think he really looks at? He's just there. They train him. They put him in.
Yeah, but he's got a horse like Singing. He's got to be thinking. Well, first of all, I imagine he eyes off his hometown cup,
Possibly,
right?
but
and then the Metropolitan.
I think he's thinking about going out for drinks with Joey on Friday night more than fucking all his mates and that.
But they've
big
paid
business.
some money for it, haven't they? So when you pay a significant amount of money for a horse, I suppose you've got to set it for something decent. You know.
Also, he's got the ignominy of protectionists to get over. You know, the fact that protectionists turned up and looked like...
I'd say he's completely over that, I'm saying that they're a little bit more...
pragmatic.
Oh, that's too big a word for me, but couldn't give a fuck about it. They're just like, get them fit, send them round.
Okay.
Get them fit, send them round.
That's what they should be, but that's not what they are.
I think you give them too much respect. Like think they're too tricky. Anyway, I don't. They just, all the blokes I talk to, half the trainers I talk to, and I talk to a stack of trainers, they ask me if they think the horse can win the race.
Yeah, that's understandable because you know the form of the other runners. But they do have their project horses, and their send them round horses.
Yeah, well, I think Singing's a send them round horse. I don't think he's eyeing off anything bigger. Oh my God.
Look, I think
Newcastle Cup.
Yeah.
Well, that's obviously probably a project, maybe.
I think that the real talking point about Saturday was, and this is with a bit of hindsight and a bit of foresight, all those PR horses and the problems they encountered on Saturday.
Oh, unbelievable. Allergic. Oh, just unbelievable. And what about Allergic's race? Sofan making ground through the line. It really, after that, when you look back, it gave Allergic up.
It gave that race up.
A loophole was Allergic,
that's an old
getting
pearl.
loophole, and Sofan running through the line. We should have been going, more.
But then how do you walk away from the race where Allergic clearly didn't get any opportunity? What does it all mean?
Oh, fuck, it's a head... I need to go sit on Vanuatu Beach for 2 months.
It means it's a distance race and they're all slow crap horses.
Another $33 a gourd, no bet race. No, I didn't know better on them.
We are coming into the Spring Carnival, which has a particular emphasis on distance races.
Yeah, it does.
And Gord will be barring up for the Melbourne Cup this year, given that he's...
I saw that, yeah, that's quite funny.
So we kicked off with race 1. What a no better place to start there, and the show alluded to the fact that there were several PRs and interesting jockey changes.
I've got to say more you did, Mark. I think that was really, you really got us thinking that the three in the market there were all coming. We're all, they were all there and there to be beat, and you were spot on.
Very well done, and I think there was $60 matched on Betfair as well. So.
$60 match. What are you talking about?
For
The winner.
Yes, yeah.
After it led and then went backwards, I'm not surprised. Hey, Banks in complete control of the race.
This is a mad horse, man, Long Kiss, because remember last preparation when she won that race in Canterbury, and then she started turning up in Saturday races and she couldn't go. Like scrubbed at the back of the field, just can't go. I mean, it's sort of symptomatic of that stable, but there it sort of jumps well enough and then it goes straight across to the lead because apparently the connections of Birds of Tokyo said, well, everyone's seen what we did the other day, so they're going to be on to us, so we're not going to be caught short here. We're not going to lead. It's a fascinating game racing, isn't it?
And did something go amiss with Firebird Fly, did it? Is it gone this prep now?
Well, what happened to it? I don't know. I just want to fucking go stack shells with Woolworths. Just go. Just imagine doing that 40 hours a week and just do that. And then you get paid and then you just live very small and don't have big dreams. What an amazing, amazing, great way to live.
Yeah, but, okay, so you went out on the drink on Saturday night after the complexity of Saturday.
No, it's a complete strip out, and I didn't tip very well. I didn't punt.
Right, but I bet you let down well.
I'm still just going to Woolworths today. If they can hire 1,500 Indigenous people, they can then hire me. So like 20,000 normal Australians, 2,000 Indigenous, and the old Glenster.
Come on, you'll find a bit of walling. You're fine.
Fucking the old Glenster. It's not fucking funny, God.
I just imagine Smoker, you out there for the 10 minutes having a Winnie Red with your.
I'll say something
buddies.
politically incorrect, and the Woolworths steward panel will bring me in. Now listen,
Well,
you've been fined 6 hours work this week.
That's $20.
Anyway, just the complexities of part are awesome, and that's why it's so delicious, and that's why there should be more people involved with it.
Oh, that's right. That's the real attraction of the game. So then we moved on to race 2 because that was a staying race, and Gordo wasn't involved in race 1. And he was quite keen on Antonio Giuseppe. You were quite keen on Antonio Giuseppe. And so the two that fought out the race, they've both gone pretty well.
Yep. I said prior to that race that Antonio Giuseppe was a young Marinostro, and I reckon that's exactly what it is. Good little Saturday 1,500 metre, might take it up in distance.
Okay,
it's got more upside than the second horse too. So.
Oh, the second horse was second up the other day.
Who?
I don't know.
Who was second up?
Extensible.
No, it was fourth up.
Fourth up, and then this is first prep after coming over from New Zealand for Antonio.
Got to get the Woolworths. Was it fourth up?
Yeah, it was fourth up. Fourth
well
up.
Done,
so Shards was supposed to try and lead and didn't. Even with Deanne, I can lead on anything. Any future for Shards? Maybe not.
More future for it than Take Wing and Road and Drive.
Yeah, okay. But Shards, okay, but they're already pigeonholed those horses.
Yeah, fair enough.
Right, Shards is a horse that is going to pretend to be a minor group horse. But has he got any possibility?
A top shelf Saturday horse from that stable, and he might have nothing.
Yeah,
okay, got nothing.
Right, race 3 was a really interesting race, and I'll talk about more in race 2, in part 2, about how the field just completely disappeared. But we're still left with a very juicy little prospect, which, in the end, I'm just thinking the times are shithouse, totally shithouse, which is a sort of a strand of the race which does need to be held in mind. I think we had a situation where Coco Excel fell over, 1,100 up to 1,400. As Terry Copper pointed out, what aces did it have? Maybe none. I take that point on board. Coco Excel has fallen over. Savan is tied to Coco Excel, and we've got the winner there that is a highly touted horse, maybe a special horse, but it's just there, has sort of stood up, and the others have just gone no.
It's a fair comment. I just another race.
You just can't knock a winner that wins easily, even though the times are terrible.
But we need to take a position on that horse.
Okay, my
next
position
time.
is I'm going to be against it.
I'm going to do a Gordon no bet there. Just not
I reckon those 4 horses, they weren't even moving the last 200 metres. So it wasn't
the times say that. The times say that.
Like evacuation wasn't going fast. It was just going moderate compared to their pathetic efforts. So,
Gay apparently said.
Gay and Bot.
Gay Bot apparently said
boss.
that it needed to resume at 1400, 1200 they would have been too fast for it.
That's what she said. She says a million things. Do you listen to what she says?
Every one of the horses is going to win the race. So.
Well, yeah, but okay, but you can at least ask her a question. Why are you resuming at 1400?
Yeah.
So look, for mine, jury's out on evacuation, more because of the fact that evacuation will be taken on face value,
Yeah.
and that's probably overrating it. Does that make sense?
Yep. Do we have to talk about the country race? 'Cause
Oh,
I'm just
do we
sick
have
of
to?
every single leader winning it.
Yeah, we do, because Mark said 100 to 115 sunflowers
Well,
was a
that
good
was
bet.
outstanding work,
And
Mark.
that was well found.
And the marketplace found the winner. It was 14s into about $8.50.
I reckon it was, like, when I first looked, it was at least 20s.
It was off the map.
And it just kept firming every time I looked at the
It just
market.
seems that the marketplace is looking for Deanie Panya's right in that race because they think it'll
Moss,
lead.
Moss my name, first
You know
up
this
after
horse.
first up after a Dubbo trial or something like that. I mean,
Okay,
how do you
sorry.
find
The
it? It's got it- I reckon it's
Canambo
inside
trial was
information.
actually really fast.
Inside information? What do you mean by that? The whole game's by inside information.
Well, it's a bush horse that's only trialled and it's
They're
first
bush-
up in a highway. Like, how do you find it unless you've got information from the stable?
Oh, the whole game's
Well,
Unless you're just going
okay,
Dean Payard going to
but
lead.
Glenn's-
That's what I'm saying.
Glenn said every leader wins the highways because they're all so
At Rosehill,
slow.
they all win. It's just annoying.
They either win or they come from last. King's Officer and
Look, King's Officer proved
and
itself not
beside
to-
you.
It came from last. I suppose beside you, it came from all that too. I forgot about it.
The King's Officer.
He's not a highway horse. He's
Yeah,
a,
it's
he's,
better
a,
horse
he's a
than
city
that,
horse.
yeah.
Yeah, he's a city horse.
But okay, Moss by name. I saw Excel Air in the form, and I just went.
Oh, so that's
I
exactly
just
what I
just
did.
saw that Jimmy Lit horse and just went no. But I'd overlooked the fact that the Canamble trial was exceedingly fast. Like, okay, so they trial on when they race in the country, they have the trials after the last race. So they're using the course proper, they're using the 1,000-metre start. So you're actually able to compare them directly with the 1,000-metre race that's run on the day.
That's good. Okay. Yeah.
And I can't remember whether that was 1,000 or 900 or whatever, but I remember comparing that and going, big tech, like that's what I was talking about with handwritten. Handwritten ran faster than the class 2 over 1,000 on that day in a barrier trial.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's what this horse had done, Moss by name. It had trialled in fast time compared to the races that were
Maybe
on that
that's
day.
the inside information.
Yeah, but I didn't give it a massive amount of credit because it only beat. He went whoosh by 0.5 of a length
In the trial,
in the trial.
he went which came out and won off that.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying like it's not smashed its opposition in the bush. So even if it's run on time, I'm suspect about the times if another horse is really close to you.
Fuck,
Of
this
course-
game gets in depth. We have to
yeah.
look at narrow-mind trials on the same day and fucking this and that and oh, for fuck, can someone just kill me?
Okay, look, just one last point on the highway where
Man, there's a lot of information.
Kobe Jennings rode a horse that Horry and I both marked very short, and the fair said no, and it,
Ocean Green?
yeah, and Ocean Grand took very little part, no part.
Was all over it, big. Very disappointed this run.
Looked ready to go, Glenn?
Oh, in good order.
Well, like his horses, Cliff Bashford's two horses, his two headliners, Ever So Natural and Ocean Grand, they've both returned this preparation.
Ever so natural was gassed in the 600 in the last.
They set the bar too high on Ever So Natural.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. So we got the mares race, which was the ultimate head fuck of the day, wasn't it? And this was the turning point where
He's just getting me to Woolworths.
I was joining Glenn. We were spooning each other after this race, I think.
so on the definitely a points decision. Can you cop a points decision, or do you actually need the cash?
Need the
I need
cash.
cash. Yeah.
Because
Oh, yeah, but-
these guys were just red hot for a Lucinari on the Friday show.
Well, we said jumped off the page. First horse in the whole day just jumped off the page.
yeah, and the betting ring was a bit ambivalent, wasn't it?
Yeah, a
That's,
little bit
you
of
know,
money.
it was
There was
like-
nines on offer with Sandra at one stage, and it SP'd at 650. So,
Yeah, it was. There was interest, but it was just one of the horses they wanted to back.
Yeah.
Anyway, a Lucinari, as you forecast, would be red hot late, and how didn't it win?
How didn't it win?
how didn't it win?
The winner was 100s on the fair.
How didn't it win? Anyway,
And
it didn't win.
highly geared gets beaten by Miss Liffey at Sapphire Coast.
But Miss
last
Liffey
start.
is a horse of note.
Ran at Maria yesterday and couldn't even win.
14:35 though.
Yeah.
Did it really go up to 14:35 yesterday?
Yeah.
And ran a great race. It just got gassed in the
Because of course the horse that they
trying to trick us by going, Miss Liffey got distance yesterday. Was from
It did.
1100 to 14:35.
But it wasn't Maria. This
It was
is
the wrong distance. How they
this
put
is
it
a
at
Rose
40.
Hill.
Anyway, I was all over Maria yesterday. Loved it.
So the last winner on Wednesday had the Miss Liffey form as well. It was very heavily backed.
It was about 11 meetings ago for me, Mark. What day was it?
Barradoo.
Yeah, it was very heavily backed. And pissed it.
I mean, that's one of Gord tends to find those races or those horses that you take a line through that are in the country, because obviously tons of country form is rubbish, but there's the occasional country horse that propels other horses into winning positions.
You find that right country race, you'll get 4 or 5 wins out of it in the future.
Yeah, bit of Gordo gold there. And then Sabakis, the line finder.
Yep, just ran right through the line. Just hard held, didn't it? Gee, looked good. Top
I
was.
thought it looked a bit dodgy at about the 300 metre mark.
Yeah, just getting balanced, don't you? It
Yeah.
was just getting balanced. And also handwritten was it handwritten or hand fast?
Hand fast.
Hand fast was bashing into it.
Anyway, that's when my day turned around and ended up being a very good day. So thank you, Sir Bacchus.
I unloaded each way there on Escon Tenardi and $7
She did everything you wanted her to do.
Well, I stopped laying the $2.20 at the 200 metre mark because I'd taken $2.20 off me in the run, and I said, "You beauty, it must be absolutely home." And then I missed the place. Welcome to my life. Here you go.
Right, okay, so hang on, Glenn. This horse has SP'd $7, let's say,
Yeah.
and they're taking $2.20 in the run.
Yeah.
Like, isn't that golden?
I really wanted to win.
Isn't that, oh my God, you know?
Yeah, no, but I still wanted to win because it was, yeah.
Okay, so you were willing it to,
No, I expected it was home at the 200 and it's missed a place. That was fucking home.
But if you're dispassionate about it, if you're one of those clever players, you recognise that there's an opportunity. It's a $7 SP, and they're taking $2.20.
And it was always going to be.
And it was always going to be where it was.
Yeah, and the toughest part of the race was going to be the last 150 metres or something like that.
It's like Prince Roo at Scone. I watched Prince Roo's run at Scone on Friday because he was backing up yesterday. And you watch the race and you go, yeah, okay. And then you just watch it get run over and completely annihilated. And you go, well, it happens all the time.
Yeah, I know that's the logical and clear way to think about it, but you've got to understand that you're sitting over here, you're in the housing market, would you agree?
No, the bank's in the housing market.
You're in the housing market.
I'm just trying to be nice to the bank.
I own absolutely nothing. I'm 54 and own nothing. I need the fucking cash to come in. It doesn't matter if it's a good play, I need to win. And obviously it's going to run its place. I know, Glenn, unfortunately, how does Snoopy run a place? It's fucking...
Because races are not decided at the 200 metre mark.
I agree.
There's a critical fact that the finish is the finish is the finish.
Yeah, I know, but you're telling me what a clever boy I am, or whatever that words you were just saying. Isn't that great business? But I'm just telling you, yeah.
It's great.
I don't give a fuck about that.
Great
I just
business
wanted
when you
to
don't
win.
need it to win.
Yeah, I want to. Yeah, when you don't need it to win, it's just in the. If you're Stewie Davidson in the long run, your house is going up 100,000 a week. Whatever the fuck. How many Australian children are ever going to buy property? I'll never know. I can't get a deposit on a letterbox at the moment. I went to the post office. Can I get a letterbox? They said, "Oh no."
No, you have to rent the letterboxes, don't you?
I'm just joking. I'm just saying. It just depends what position you're in financially. I'm under duress.
No, but you've done your best work under those situations.
Thanks, mate. As a younger
Pete Todd
man.
was exactly the same.
So what, I'm going to go run the tab?
Yes.
The tab? I fucking hate the tab. I'd rather Woolies.
Anyway, hopefully we'll get Pete Todd on the show one day.
That'd be great. Now the highlight. A Stearns race. What a
highlight.
horse.
Yeah, what a horse. The second horse is pretty good as well. And it was a manual start. So the race was hand timed. I can tell you that it's 0.7 too fast.
For the race.
So normally the hand timed races in town, they manage to work it out how to time it so that it mirrors the electronic timing. I can tell you that it's 0.7 too fast. So the officials have got a Stern running a second faster than Sabakis. It's 0.3 faster than Sabakis.
Wow, really interesting. How do you work that out?
That's a bigger load of Vince Cardi.
Great work, Vince.
Anyway, yeah, so that's, what, 3.5 lengths.
Right.
But anyway, the race is still the best race of the day on
It's
time.
juicy.
I thought that T-Berry rode a poor race.
Too cute.
Like, what is he doing? He's, you know, sitting there, and then he lets the other horse get to the lead. Should never, the stern should have had to chase it down.
Right.
So that means that you're going to be looking to back start turn in the Golden Rose.
Well, look, both of them have great chances. Haven't they?
Yeah. I don't know about that. I don't know if there's anything left for start turn.
I might even switch over and back impending in the Golden Rose.
So what did it do on Saturday that interested you?
Just, well, it came third, that's about all, but I've just heard a rumour that it might be a very good horse and better than a Stern, and it might be more suited.
Yeah, he's out of the track. He's out of the track picking up gossip now.
Might be
You're
more
a real
suited.
inside information man.
Might be more suited to 1400 metres than a Stern. So.
We're going to call you
So-
IIM. Im.
Oh, I don't know.
Im. Yes, Gordo, Im. And you love a little bit of inside goss.
All right,
I
come
do,
on,
from
come
the
on.
right source, from a bloke down the pub.
I thought the winner was
All right.
is a good horse. The winner's a really good horse.
All right, but Glenn, what about the horses? Because obviously it's a seminal race. It's a race that feeds a hell of a lot of form through the coming spring.
Yep.
Talk to us about the horses that were well beaten in the end. You know, so it was 3 3/4 lengths to the third horse.
Yeah, I don't know about impending. I don't know what we can do with El Dorinio. I know it took it up, but Mediterranean I thought popped out at the right time and kind of was disappointing. Nikitas I thought went particularly well, sat wide and sort of battled. Tessera looked to Kathy there, looked to poke home nicely. You know, hashtag BT. Marno Blunick, I don't know what to think of it. Good standing, another little hashtag BT to me. Salaman I think's the future there, but not in the Golden Rose.
Yeah.
Telperiod, disappointing, and Gadfly completely outclassed. I don't know if there's much to say to the race, except I think the Stern will just keep winning.
And what's the Stern's profile? Is he a dead set 1200 metre horse? Maybe even 1100 metre horse? Like, is he a Coolmore down the straight at Flemington sort of horse? Or
Yeah,
is-
he's cool more than the Stern. Yeah, that's a pretty
He's
good
not-
spot for it.
yeah.
So you think the 1400's will slide down second up?
Yeah, it depends on the configuration of the race. I mean, you know, if you get a brutal 1400, yes.
So it looks like my Malays are still in this race.
That's right. Glenn's tipping the Wednesday winner from Warwick Farm.
400 to 1.
Yeah. But certainly it's
Keep
got
me
a
away
better
from-
profile than Mitigate at this stage.
Hashtag keep me away from the Woolworths shells.
We've pretty much done the penultimate, so we may as well talk about the nightcap where Chetwood just owned the race. Robbie Waterhouse special, wasn't it?
Well, they were A, B, D in the run. They finished A, B, C. It was just a absolute, exactly profile. Market place about 360 was off the absolute map, and
Just
did the job.
owned the race.
Owned the race.
Of course, you know my beef about that, and it's just I'm just complaining because I can complain. Is that you sit down to do the form with 16 runners and you get left with 8, and it's very hard to change your thinking around.
Yeah.
Just because I mean Chetwood got a, you know, he's fast enough to make it a picnic for himself, but in full field you're just not thinking.
It's
I'll
still
look down
pretty
those lines.
stylish.
He's pretty stylish.
Yeah, he's a good-looking rabbit.
No, I was a complete spastic in the last race. I had, because of all ups of fortune going on, Canny Essence and
What is Kenny?
Ware Shaw. Well, it's nothing now. It's a pen job now. And I saw all the money for Shetland, and I didn't.
Yeah, you didn't.
I
just
didn't
didn't.
hedge, and I just, I'm kicking myself.
Yeah, you didn't put yourself in a good position.
Yeah.
The Canny Essence story, I think, is that Canny Essence is a very pretty horse. In that he will look very good when circumstances allowed. And he was completely exposed there. Like Glenn had him 3 wide at the back of the field, exposed. You know, he actually had to sort of like do all the work himself. And he went, oh God, this is what my go. I'm like a let's sneak up behind them.
I'm
and-
like a His Majesty.
Maybe. No, I think His Majesty's a little bit more honest and durable than Canny Essence, but Canny Essence is just one of those. It's just one of those under sort of propositions that can still win races, but needs things to go his way.
See, I was sort of happy about the wide barrier because I knew it wasn't going to get cluttered up. But now that it's done that with the wide barrier, I think I'm with you now. It's just a pretty horse where it needs things to go right and maybe get the split late.
Like they've gone 200 metres. You didn't want to take 100 to 1,
No.
did you? It was just like,
But
nothing was going to win, except the win.
And there you have it. That's the end of part 1 for the RANT.